Hey everybody, it's Harry from Step Daddy BBQ, the YouTube channel that teaches you how to master barbecue so you can spread barbecue love. If you stumbled onto this episode, this is going to be episode 3 or part 3 of my homage to Tootsie's Snow's Barbecue of Lexington, Texas. We did the snow style brisket in episode 1, chicken and spare ribs in episode 2. I'm moving on to the third episode where we're going to cook Tootsie's signature item in the restaurant. It's her wonderful, beautiful pork steak. We can show you guys how to cook a pork steak. We're going to change up the technique a little bit in part 1 and part 2. I'll show you guys how to cook kind of indirect on a Weber Smokey Mountain 22 using some Jealous Devil lump charcoal with some post oak wood. In episode 3, we're going to cook it over direct heat, so I'm not going to have the water pan in place. We're going to slow cook these pork butts until they're tender. Cook also some jalapeno cheddar sausage and jalapeno sausage together with a turkey we're also going to make to create a trifecta of Snow's Tootsie's barbecue perfection. Let's show you now how to set up something like a Weber Smokey Mountain using a direct grilling method. We are not going to be using the water pan here, which I use as a baffle. If you saw episode 1 and 2 of the Snow's Barbecue, we cook it with the baffle in place like so that there was a heat shield between the meat and the fire beneath. So in this situation, we're going to show you guys how we do a direct cook over direct heat. We're going to load up our charcoal onto some of this post oak logs. Let's season the pork steak. For those of you who are wondering what a pork steak is, it's actually the Boston butt of the hog, same like a pork butt. But what it's done is it's been cut into about 2 3/4 inch slices here to create this honking big steak that will really be good in the pit. All we're gonna do is really simple. We're gonna do a little bit of a standard Texas style rub, just 50% kosher salt, 50% coarse black pepper. For those of you who send me comments on episode 1, episode 2, you're asking how coarse the pepper is. I believe you want like 16 mesh or 20 mesh black pepper is fine. That's how coarse the grains are. A little bit of schmear here. Add a little bit of just regular old yellow mustard to help the rub stick. Slather it all over the meat. So apply a nice thick coating of S&P, salt and pepper. Ordinarily, you'll taste better when you cook barbecue and you let the meat rest in the refrigerator, sometimes overnight with the rub on. But Tootsie starts her cooking on Friday after work, and they begin cooking at around 8 p.m. on a Friday night. So they really don't have time to kind of pre-cook or pre-marinate any of the meats. Everything is cooked and thrown onto the pit. And we're going to do exactly that. Nice even layer of rub. They serve boneless whole turkey breast at Snow's, but I couldn't find boneless breast, so I have a regular butterball turkey with the breastbone attached. No biggie, we can still get wonderful turkey meat out of the breastbone attached turkey breast. Nice thin layer of rub. On the turkey, you don't need so much rub because the turkey is a more delicate meat, so all that extra rub we put on the pork, not needed for turkey. Even coat. I'm going to let the turkey sit a little bit because it's not ready to be cooked at the same time as the pork steak. The pork steak will take about 6 hours or so, 6-7 hours until it's nice and tender. We'll cook the turkey somewhere in between, and then we'll cook the sausages also towards the end so that everything is ready when the pork steaks are ready. So we're going to put it in direct fire, and there's no baffle involved. We're going to cook it direct fire, let it get nice and happy for about 6 hours. I often get asked, how do you tell the temperature on a Weber Smokey Mountain, because the gauge is usually pretty inaccurate. And the way you do it is you want to use your hand and you touch your pit and you feel it. If you can feel it about probably like a quarter second or so, it's probably running around 225. If it's like an eighth of a second, it's running 275. If you burn your hand, it means it's too hot. So you really don't need a thermometer, because all the tools you need are right here in your hand. You can actually feel your pit. This feels about 225. I'm gonna let it run this pork steak at 225. Take a look after an hour to see what's happening and then adjust accordingly. This area of fire management is very, very important. A good pitmaster skill set is involved in fire management, controlling the draft, controlling the smoke, controlling the wood. These are much more important than the seasonings or some of the rubs and that you're using, or even the meat itself. Good fire management is the key to creating championship style barbecue. We'll make Tootsie's Malt version 2 now. So this time around, I'm going to go ahead and blend the onion. That way I don't have to blend it later. So we're gonna cook the blended onion until it's a little bit done. And then we're gonna put the butter in. I've got about a tablespoon of oil here to kind of cook the onion. What I found in my part 1 and part 2, I actually had to use the propeller blender to blend the onion chunks, because the chunks were ending up on the brisket and the chicken and the spare rib. So in this third episode, I'm gonna go ahead and saute the onion that is already been pureed, so I have a very smooth mop. We'll add 1 stick of butter, 4 ounces, and I use salted butter. You can use unsalted if you like, but I think salted butter tastes much better. Butter is melted. I'm going to add a ½ cup of Worcestershire, add a ½ cup of white vinegar, 1 tablespoon of mustard, dry powder. Just gonna eyeball it. And 2 cups of water. I just rinsed out the blender. And we'll let this mop simmer until we're ready to use it on the pork steak, on the turkey, and on the sausages. All right, it's been running nicely at around 225. Take a little pork steak. Looks very good. Looks like it's cycling between like 255 to 290-ish. Looking beautiful on the pork steak here. Pork steak is coming along beautifully. So is the turkey. I added some sausages here, the jalapeno sausages. We're getting ready to do another bop. Okay, it's taken about 6 hours to cook the pork steak, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. It's really piping hot. I didn't have a chance to wait for it to cool down. Here's the jalapeno sausage. You can see here, the jalapenos are in there. And then the super duper moist turkey breast right here. So let's give it a taste test and see which one I like the best. Let's try the jalapeno sausage. Good, it's very salty, but really great flavor. The jalapeno is coming right through. So I think this is the one that I bought it from my local butcher, and it has jalapeno. Some of it has cheddar. Let me try one with the cheddar. This one has cheddar. Very good, excellent. Let's try a piece of the turkey right here. It's really hot, right? Very good, very moist. A little bit smoky. The salt and pepper rub is coming right through. Skin is bite through tender because it's cooked over direct heat. Yep, very good turkey breast. Moving on to the pork steak. How it looks like here. Nice bark on the side here. Lots of different muscles here to eat. Let me have a bite. Pork steak. Very tender, salty, peppery, smoky. Really, really great pork steak. Have another bite. Very good. It's got a great texture. It's not overcooked, so it kind of like has a nice kind of a texture here. It doesn't fall apart. Really good eating. So if you guys have never tried pork steak, highly recommend it. It's a great way to cook a pork butt. Just cut it into about 2 3/4 inch steaks, and you can ask your butcher to do that for you if you don't have a bandsaw at home. This is really a fantastic flavor. Of course, not going to hold a candle against Tootsie's pork steak or her turkey, but considering I'm 1,500 miles away from Lexington, Texas, this is not a bad option. Now that I've had my share, let me go ahead and give Mr. Bean some to try. See if he likes some jalapeno sausage, a piece of turkey, and a little piece of pork steak heaven right here. All right, Beans, you ready? Okay, we have a little bit of sample here for Mr. Beans. You ready, Mr. Beans? Wolf down the pork steak, sausage, and he's gone. Okay, I hope he likes it.